alternative technology. Thank you very much, Kostas. Thank you to the organizers for inviting us to the conference. Perhaps it's an oxymoron that we as a company are talking about renewable energy sources, about storage, but we are now repositioning our group, and our immediate goal is to reduce our carbon footprint. We have very simple and measurable goals that in 2030 we want to reduce by 50% our carbon footprint, either with an increase of the energy performance of our refineries and other activities. We want to install green hydrogen or blue hydrogen in order to reduce our carbon footprint. That's 30%. The other 20% will come from our investment activity in renewable energy sources. Our goal is up until 2030 to develop 2 gigawatts. We already have a portfolio at different stages, different development stages. But until 2030, we want to have 2 gigawatts in operation with for renewable energy sources. In addition to that, in order to proceed even further, we will have raw materials at our refineries that will also drive this reduction of our carbon footprint, because we are going to use the philosophy of the green economy, either using recycling or using technologies that are more advanced. In terms of our raw material, we will achieve to create new products that will be sustainable. In terms of storage, we already are making a big effort to support RES. We invest in RES through the photovoltaic and wind farms, and also regarding the stability of the grid. We have submitted to RAE about 750 megawatt hours for storage, a proposal, and our goal is to proceed cautiously towards this technology of storage of electricity, so we can contribute to the grid and to our facilities, our installations. Another part, something else that I wanted to talk about was the part of electric mobility, using our refineries and especially our facilities for quick charging. We look at storage on a macro level, where we need megawatt hours, a lot of them, but think that the weakness of the grid is not only limited to the 450 kilovolt. It's also part of the low voltage grid. There are delays in licensing due to the increase in power that is required for charging stations, and we could even use batteries in conjunction with RES for such points. It's something that we see in action. We have not installed anything like that, but think that this accumulation of energy, storage has a lot of applications. So if we want to be realistic and we invest, because that's our job, to invest and create projects. The state has, the role of the state is to create legislation. We are here to make projects. So if we want to invest in this storage, unfortunately, it wouldn't be easy to find batteries, significant numbers of batteries, because there is a deficit in the market. Think that there's a delay in all the supply chains because of all the problems that we're facing lately. Let me also remind you that raw materials and the price has increased, and many investments become unsustainable due to that. Batteries, lithium-ion batteries have fallen to, the price is at 1/7 what it used to be, but even that drop makes such an investment very difficult. So we need to invest more to research and development and innovation to find alternatives in Europe as well. We need to find alternatives, and we need to see what we can do with metals that are being used in batteries. I can say that right now 70% of photovoltaics are being produced in China, a great percentage of electric cars as well, and the largest part of the materials used in batteries are also produced in China. So is it the butterfly effect that flies in China and creates a storm in the United States? We cannot have a continuous supply chain. Right now, the chain has broken, which means fluctuation and problems in the market, from the photovoltaic panels up to batteries and other things, and that should teach us something, because the point is not only to deal with the energy costs or how to develop the grid or everything that has to do with this last category, but we also need to look at the entire picture, the great picture, how and technology is being produced, what's happening with the raw materials, and what we are going to be facing in the end as investors in order to have sustainable investments. I would say that the essence of this thing is to reduce the investment risk. Not because as investors we are afraid of the risk. Investment risks, there are cases that it can be affected by outside factors, such as the matter of supply of raw materials or whatever from other countries, from internal issues that are regulatory issues about how fast we are able to have the legislation, for example, from the state in order to invest to offshore wind farms, for example, or how we can combine our onshore and offshore production when in the end we are able to invest there in order to have a stable grid and be able to provide the renewable energy that we produce to our consumers. And then it has to do with the general investment environment in our country. Perhaps the most important thing would be to take quick decisions, to have less bureaucracy, less red tape, and of course, everyone here, I think, as an energy group, we would like to invest in that area. Costa.